Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time for the podcast that pulls back the curtain, that dissects the strikes, the submissions, and the controversial decisions. We're coming to you live from the Empty the Bench Network. We are diving deep into the world of mixed martial arts. Get ready for the unfiltered takes, the expert analysis, and the raw, unadulterated passion for the fight game. These are your hosts, two of the most knowledgeable voices in the sport. The one, the only, Zain Bando, and the undisputed, the always insightful, Jack Gold. This is the MMA Outsiders.
And we are live. This is the MMA Outsiders episode 156 with myself, Zain Bando, and Jack Gold. Jack, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Look at that new intro, baby. We got the special treatment now. Shout out the ETV network.
Yeah, that intro is pretty impressive, isn't it? So that's going to be our new intro moving forward. I never thought we would get an intro. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought we were both hyped up. I mean, to hear that we're two of the most knowledgeable voices doing this, I think is a pretty nice compliment. When do you say so?
Listen, I didn't know that was coming. I didn't know what was going to be said, but I like it. Undisputed and always knowledgeable. I'll take that.
Yeah, so excited to be back here with you on this Thursday afternoon. We have no UFC card this weekend, but figured we would still do a stream anyway. A few quick reminders before we get started. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. You can do so, youtube.com/ETB Network. And of course, for those of you listening for the first time, my name is Zain Bando. I'm a staff writer at MMAKnockout.com as part of the Sports Illustrated Network. And of course, to my right is Jack Gold. He is an independent MMA content creator who always seems to have something going on. And Jack, do you have anything exciting coming up in the next few weeks that's new and fresh that you can inform our viewers and listeners about?
Man, the only new stuff really is we're getting closer and closer to leaving this leaving this cold weather to get to some warm weather. So the Jack Gold's move from Chicago is in progress.
And is there anything else you can say publicly other than that, or is that how you're going to leave it?
I'll say it. I'm leaving Chicago. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm joining the fellas down there that have been very kind to me for bigger and better opportunities. I'm excited. It'll be good. I'm sad to be leaving the greatest city on earth and leaving my boy Zain Bando, but I'll be back a whole lot. It's the cheapest fight in the country. I love that.
You'll be back.
10-hour drive. I'll be back and forth.
Oh, you'll be back for sure. I have no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm just happy for you that you're getting an opportunity of something that you've really wanted to do for a while. So I think it'll be a very cool experience, and you can dive into it more if you want. But it's cool to know that is, of course, on the horizon and all that good stuff.
When we get pen to paper, I'll announce everything. But for right now, we're moving, baby. That's the best I can tell you.
For sure. And then just one other reminder, you can listen to the MMA Outsiders wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, you can also just use YouTube Premium as well if you want to swipe out of this and go to other apps, or if you want to just put your phone in your pocket and still listen to us, you can certainly do that as well. And for those who may be wondering, even with your move, would you assume that our weekly ventures are going to continue, or do you think it's going to be a little bit different?
Oh, we're rocking and rolling, baby. The time might have to change, but the show is not going anywhere.
Okay, so now it's going to be bigger things for the show in the works, and we will be ready to announce those as soon as we possibly can. But for now, let's get into the show, shall we?
I'm ready. I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, so we have a pretty heavy recap episode this week as opposed to a preview show, just because, again, as I alluded to off the top, there's no UFC event. So let's get into it. UFC Vegas 113 from the Meta Apex. This past Saturday, we watched the main card together. We obviously had Mario Bautista making some impressive work over Vinicius Oliveira in the main event. I guess we could start with the main event. What were our early thoughts of the fight itself and just kind of overall how it played out?
Man, I think it was good. It was exactly what I thought was going to happen as the week was coming. I thought 50 pounds is a whole lot to cut for Vinicius. I thought Mario was borderline a top 5 fighter. And I said Mario was going to win. I don't know if I said submission or decision. I was thinking submission the whole, going into the day. I had a little bit of money on Mario money line, Mario submission, Mario finish, and Mario round 2, 3, 4. I was at your house at a happy little camper when that was happening. So got to watch the fights with my guy Zain, which made it even better. Mario Bautista, dominant performance, beat up Vinny.
You sure were. We actually have a few comments rolling
from
in.
From the GOAT, BKFC's best fighter, Nathan Rivera. He's in here, baby.
Yeah, shout out to Nathan Rivera, who's in here. We're actually going to be talking more so about BKFC later on in the stream, so hopefully you can stick around for that. And then I won't pop these on the screen, but I think these messages are directed towards you. He's essentially trying to publicly make fun of you. So I don't know.
Listen,
I don't know if you want to.
Nathan Rivera is just a guy who likes to have fun, and he's not talking to me. He's talking about Mario submitting Vinny Oliveira, baby. Nathan Rivera might submit. Hey, you can put that one up. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Hey, how does this one make you feel right now?
Hey, Nathan Rivera is my goat, so it's mutual feeling. But continuing on here, what did you think about the main event, Mario Bautista?
I thought it was entirely one-sided for the most part. I was very surprised. Very surprised.
With all the talk from Oliveira the week of, and especially after the fact, he said he broke his arm 50 days before the fight. If Nathan's still in here, what would you think is the smart thing to do? You break your arm 6 weeks before a fight, and you're like, oh, I'll go fight an MMA fight. I think part of my language was one of the dumbest. It was the stupidest fucking thing a fighter could do. Oh, let's go in there into an MMA fight with a busted wing, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. But yeah, overall, I just thought it was extremely one-sided. It went the way I thought it was going to go. I was more conservative, and I thought Bautista would. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive that I had him by knockout. I can't fully remember, but I did get the method of victory incorrect, so I will fault myself for that. But overall, a big win keeps him in the mix in the crowded division, and I think he's gonna honestly take some time off because there's still some more fights that need to be kind of rectified in the bantamweight division before he fits into that.
I think he moves up. I think Oliveira's going to 45. I would do Bautista versus Song Yadong next. And Nathan's right. Vinny Oliveira, he's got to go see a Scott Barber, best orthopedic surgeon in Georgia, baby.
Very interesting. But no, I was referring to Bautista to where if he wanted to sit out for a little bit and to figure out what was next, he probably could.
I think that the fight to make is Song Yadong versus Bautista. They both coming off, Song's coming off a loss to the number 1 contender. Bautista's coming off a win off of number 13. I think Song has to fight down. Mario deserves to fight up. They fight each other. Winner gets a top 5 fight next.
Interesting. Okay, very interesting. But yeah, a lot to be decided. Let's talk now about the rest of the card itself. Were there any other fights that really stuck out? Honestly, you and I both agreed as we were watching it that the main card was just extremely boring, dude. It was not good.
It was definitely a tougher. I think looking back on it, it was more so a problem with.
Oh, do you want me to add
here?
This?
I've got the Tapology up once I can get this ad off here.
Sure.
Come on now. Here we go. Bang. So if we're just looking at the main card here, here's what I'll say. I thought the main event was very good. I thought the co-main event was very good. The Gooch is loose. Horiguchi, one more win, he gets a title fight. I want it. I don't know who he's going to fight. I want to ask you who you think is a top 5 matchup at flyweight he should get. But I think Horiguchi dominated Albazi. dominated Tagir, should get a 5-round main event in the Apex or a 3-rounder on a pay-per-view. Winner gets a title fight. I wouldn't be surprised if they make Horiguchi versus Taira fight night main event Tokyo.
I don't think it would be Tokyo, but it would be their May event that's in China, I would guess. Would probably be what they would do.
I think they just make a Japan event. I think they've been wanting to do that. I think China, we have enough Chinese talent to throw them on that event. I'm thinking maybe June or July, we do a fight night in Japan, have those two headline. No matter who wins, it's a Japanese fighter, and then a Japanese fighter gets the fight for the title next. I also think Pantoja's coming back sooner than we thought. So I think either they're going to do Cap versus Van on 326, or they're going to wait, give Van Pantoja, then Pantoja maybe you do Manel Cap Horiguchi 2 or 3. I forget what it was.
Wait, Jack, are you predicting that Cap versus Van is going to be the 326 co-main event replacement?
I think that's what they want. Maybe. I think
they have a couple weeks to figure it out, so it would be very interesting.
I think either that co-main event is Van versus Cap, or they make Van wait. Pantoja comes back in May at an undisclosed location I may be able to tell you off air, and is in the co-main event or main events like kind of a bummer of a pay-per-view, and then winner of that gets winner of Horiguchi versus Cap. I think it'll either be Van versus Cap or Pantoja comes back fast enough and they do Cap versus Horiguchi.
So wait, when you say bummer of a pay-per-view or a bummer of a UFC numbered event, if you will, are we talking what the May numbered UFC would be?
I think in this location, from what I've heard where it's going to be, I can't say.
Okay.
But it's a usual bi-yearly or yearly location that typically is always not stacked. It's typically a lesser pay-per-view every year.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it either, but I think I know exactly what location you're talking about.
And with that, I would not be surprised at a flyweight title main event. Now, it would be a fun fight, but
by the way, if you look through past history, flyweight title main events at this said undisclosed location are very common. So
I think it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I think I'm happy that the UFC is going there again, but I would not be surprised if it's a lesser pay-per-view numbered event of what we're getting beforehand. I think 324, 25, 26, 27, all going to be awesome.
Fair enough. Okay, well said. So with kind of all that in mind, let's talk about the overall broadcast itself. So it seemed like people's
before we move on, I need your opinion.
Sure.
Rizvan Kuniev versus Jailton Almeida, and Almeida is no longer in the UFC. What are your thoughts?
I don't think he should have been cut. What do you think?
I get it.
Well, wait, I understand why you get it. But dude, the heavyweight division is in such bad shape that you're gonna cut guys that are realistically ranked in the top 10 by the media? I mean, is this just to make room for the inevitable? Which I'll get to the inevitable in just a second. But to me, that's what it seems like.
Well, I think it's a combination of a couple things. I think after this fight, I think Jailton took this fight on short notice to try to get in the better graces of the UFC, and he delivered another stinker. Now, this is back-to-back fights he basically didn't fight. He was just wrestling. And the biggest problem is that he is better than both Volkov. I won't say better than Volkov, but he's better than Kuniev. He's more athletic. He's a better wrestler. He's a better striker when he throw punches. Like, it was a weird one. However, I think what affected him is that after the fight, he said he wanted to move back down to light heavyweight. And the UFC's like, we're cool at light heavyweight, buddy. We're cool. So I think they were like, when he wanted to move down, they were like, we don't need you here. And then he was probably getting paid a lot of money. He's 8-3 in the UFC, top 10 heavyweight. I get it. And with the cuts of Javid Basharat not getting a new contract, Almeida getting cut, Makhachev getting cut, these good fighters, Hanat Fakhretdinov, never lost. All these guys are not getting re-signed because of the way they fight, even though they're good. And I think the UFC, and I think it's been shown, that they're targeting fun and violence more so than good, especially in the Paramount era.
I mean, do you think that that's right, or do you think that that's wrong? Because
It depends how you look at it.
I think you should be rewarding guys based on their record. If you're a top 10 heavyweight and you're 8-3, who cares if you have two horrible performances? But guys have off nights all the time. Do they really think that heavyweight is going to get any better if you keep cutting more of your talent? That's what I simply don't. To me, that
he's not a heavyweight anymore. The second that fight was over, he was no longer a heavyweight. So what was his value to the promotion if he's not going to be a heavyweight?
I get it, but I still think an 8-3 record in the top 10 ranking. I get he would have had to have been re-ranked in the other weight division, but I still think an 8-3 record counts for something.
I think when you have not just two bad fights, but when half of your fights are terrible, and every time you fight, people are like, oh, here this guy is again. I think that's a bad look for the company. Not even a bad look. And I am typically like, okay, you're good, you're winning, you should be signed. But I also think when you're not a fighter, when all you do in every fight is you don't fight, you come in to wrestle, I think the high ups get pissed, and then he does it again, 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 where they're just fed up and they're like, get rid of this guy. And I can understand it.
Right.
Like, look at his UFC career. He beat Parker Porter by submission, round 1. Cool.
And Parker Porter's nothing special.
BKFC GOAT. Then
I know that. I just mean from an MMA standpoint.
Then he beats Anton Turkaj, first round submission. Then he beats Shamil Abdurakhimov in like a weirdly close fight in the second round. Submits Jairzinho early. Those first 4 fights, he was on a roll, a finishing streak. Since that time, 5-round stinker with Derek Lewis. Loses the Curtis Blades. Beats Alexander Romanov. Beats Sergey Spivak. Stinker versus Volkov. Stinker versus Kuniev. So when you've got 3 fights that are the exact same, and it's not only that they're stinkers, but he has the ability and the skill to finish them all, and he chooses not to. And I think that's the problem. I think if he chose to fight, he would be in the UFC. In that Kuniev fight, every time he threw a 1-2, you and me were like, oh shit, that's really good. He's fast. He landed. But then he'd get tickled, and then he'd start backing up the whole time. And then I
don't know if you remember, we kept saying that he needed to follow up because if he followed up even 3 or 4 times, he could have
finished him. He could have knocked out Kuniev.
I know.
And but then the thing that pisses me off is that of all people, Kuniev's holding Gilton against the fence, and Gilton's looking at the ref going, you can't do that. That's your whole fucking game plan, man. That's all you do.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. If I'm the UFC, I get it. Cut him. Get him out of here. Good luck being the champ at PFL.
Which, by the way, no disrespect to anybody we know at the PFL, but they would gladly welcome his very, very obvious lay and pray.
Gilton, dude, PFL is the place for Gilton. This is the exact thing you were talking about. I think you are merit-based, and I love that. So is PFL. And look at how fucking boring these PFL cards are, because they've got 10 undefeated daggies on there who are all some of the best fighters in the world. They'd fuck up ranked fighters in the UFC. But I would fucking go take a nap after 4 minutes. Like, oh, this is going to be the whole 15 minutes. Like, it is frustrating. Shout out. I hated that it had to be my boy Colton. Like Amir Albazi. That was exciting. There were like 4 different of names on that PFL Dubai card that we'll get to. The most boring shit ever. And they're elite fighters, sure, but it's just like, fuck off. I want some violence.
I don't blame you. But speaking of that, let's get this off the screen and let's talk about the overall broadcast itself. So I watched the prelims on Paramount, and then when you came over, I flipped to a different feed, which I'm not going to say where I found it, but we were watching a different feed of the main card. But I just want to get your opinion. It seems like the audio levels for the undercard were super, super off. Like the corner volume was the same volume as the commentary, and a lot of people were upset about that. So what do you think is going on? Why is it that every week so far there's been one small Paramount hiccup that people can't seem to just get over and move past? Because by the time the main card started, and you can attest, the audio was fine. So I don't know. What do you think?
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Now it's CBS and they should have this shit on lock. Let's say that. But it's also like they haven't done MMA in 10 years. I think they just give it a grace period, give it till the end of February. And if there's still problems heading into March, then we could start ripping them a new one.
By the way, it's February 12th and the entire UFC library is still not up on the app.
I don't think it ever will be.
Really?
And not at this rate. If it's not there now, I don't think it's ever coming.
Wow.
They've had 6 months to do it.
Wow. Well, it sucks. There's no UFC 1990s catalog. It's almost like it's misleading information where if you open the app for the first time and you've never watched the UFC before, you would think that the first event was in 2000 when it wasn't.
I know. Like 7 years of UFC is just not there.
Mm-hmm.
When you want to watch those historic events, you see the main event.
You can't even watch the full card.
You can't even watch the full main card.
I know.
Like
you have to go to Fight Pass and other mediums to do it.
It's dumb. But I just think I think Paramount's fine. The one thing that I hate about Paramount is that you can't, especially the mobile app. I hated ESPN Plus. Listen, I hate it. However, you are able to small box that thing in the corner and still do other stuff on your phone. Paramount Plus, no. They don't allow it.
So there's a workaround. The CBS Sports app will let you do it.
Good to know. Zain,
so
big
all
brain.
You have to do, so yes. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to mute myself. All you have to do is sync your Paramount credentials to your CBS Sports app, and then you're all Gucci.
Good to know. Good to know. Without Zain Bando, what would I do, man? He's a smart guy.
Also, another benefit to having the CBS Sports app, besides setting all your favorite teams and doing all that shit, you can see live up to the second fight statistics without looking at the screen.
That's awesome.
So you know what's going on in the fight the second you turn it on, whether you missed 5 minutes or you saw the last 30 seconds of a finish or whatever. It's all right there for your disposal. And then all you have to do before the next fight is just screenshot whatever you want to keep. So
interesting. I like that.
For sure. All right, speaking of MMA, we had a card earlier in the day. It was the PFL Road to Dubai card on ESPN Unlimited, which for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the new all-in-one ESPN Plus streaming service, which I get included through my provider, so I didn't have to pay any extra for it. I'm going to be honest with you. This card was very, very vanilla and very, very whatever. I didn't care. I didn't really care about it. I cared about the main event. I'll say that. I was excited for the main event, but the rest of it, I could have probably done without, to be quite honest with you. And even worse, Curzon retiring just totally ruined the whole vibe of the main card. You're 29 years old, you win the vacant title, and you decide to retire. I was like, what in the world are they going to do now? That makes no sense.
It was a weird one, man. Like, I thought the card top to bottom was actually pretty entertaining. Like, I thought, like, at the bottom here, Hyder Khan, minus 1,000 favorite, gets finished immediately. Pretty fun. Khabib Nabiev, kind of like a slow, steady TKO, whatever. Luke Traynor versus Rob Wilkinson was pretty fun. Respect to the women.
Luke Traynor versus Rob Wilkinson should have been on the main card, to be honest with you.
I agree. This one, hated it. Terrible. This one, terrible. Pretty sick. Listen, a Taylor Lapalus finish. I'm happy with that. That boy's getting a title shot. He deserves it.
He is nasty every single time he fights.
He's someone who I'm like, how does the UFC let him go? Yeah, he goes to a couple decisions. Bro, he's so good.
I know. Hopefully he fights in the United States because I've never seen him live, dude.
He's good.
That'd be cool.
He's good. Next up, Amir Magomedov. This guy might be a problem. This guy might be a problem.
And this guy might be a guy that maybe isn't in the PFL as long as people might think.
No, he's coming to the UFC at some point. This is another guy, Puya Rahmani. He's the real fucking deal. I was hesitant to be like, oh yeah, grappler guy, whatever. Carl Williams is like, win or lose, he doesn't.
Yeah, this was a bad pick by me because if you remember, I had Williams and he just got smoked.
See, I had Puya Rahmani decision. I thought Carl Williams, like, death, taxes, and Carl Williams goes to a decision. Puya Rahmani submitted him in the second round after a dominant 7 minutes. Dude's legit. This sucked. This fight sucked. Pinedo and Isbulaev didn't do shit for 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
No,
and then Isbulaev like cracked Pinedo's orbital and just fucking smashed him on the ground. This fight sucked too. Like like every time this guy's a minus 1,000 favorite, he is buns. Like, let's take a look here. He's 20-1. If I remember correctly.
Well, by the way, we both finished with the same record on this card. We both went 9-4. We did pretty good.
Look at these last 3 fights, dude.
Okay.
Freaking Jack Grant split decision that he could have lost. First fight, this guy should be losing like this if he's as good as we say we are. Loriana Starpoli decision. Come on, bro. Kenley St. Louis split. Like, this guy, listen.
Which, by the way, that fight was very exciting.
Super, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Kenley is mid at best. Right. He wouldn't be in the UFC. And he fucking gave Abdurakhimov everything he could handle.
Oh, well said.
So it's just like, how good is this 20-1 guy? Like, I don't know. Co-main event, awesome fight. Kurmagomedov dominating the first 3 rounds, and Musayev really coming back in the last 2, really putting some fucking mustard on it. Lost a point, though. Lost 48-46 across the board. And Kurmagomedov, a guy who won on Contender Series, had a fight scheduled in the UFC in 2021, didn't fight, gets cut, goes to the PFL and Bellator, goes to Bellator, wins, goes to PFL, wins their title, retires. Interesting. And then Usman versus Alfie.
By the way, how do you feel about getting some of these big picks wrong, dude? You got a couple of them wrong.
I know I got Pinedo wrong, which
you got Williams wrong, you got Musayev wrong, and you got Khan wrong. Those are the 4 you got wrong.
Did I pick Carl Williams? I'm pretty sure I picked Rahmani, but maybe with us I said Carl.
You did.
But yeah, I picked Pinedo. That was surprising.
Oh no. You got it. Hey, you picked against Williams, but you still finished the night with 4 losses overall though, because you lost.
I picked Hyder Khan. He lost.
Yep.
I picked
you took
Ayub. He lost.
Yeah, he did. You took Pinedo and you took Musayev.
Yep.
Yep.
So then Pinedo, that was a tough one. This fight might have been the best fight of the night. I thought that was a really good fight. Like, it was like a lot of just like touch butt in the park, weird kicks, weird stances. And then like the second Usman got a hold of him, disgusting Rutolo choke, dude. Disgusting. Put him out in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, which is a submission you don't really see all that often.
It's literally, never saw it before, and then the Rutolos hit it. It's like this arm triangle, rear naked choke type deal.
It's so nasty.
Dude, if they lock that thing up, like the amount of pressure they put on you, like dudes go to sleep instantly. It's weird.
Well said.
But I would say like a 6. I would give this card like a D+.
Yeah,
C-.
me too. And honestly, the main event was nothing special.
No, main event was whatever. Co-main was good. This fight was good, but like weird, terrible until the finish. Domination, cool, terrible, weird, terrible, good finish, terrible, out of nowhere. I think that does it for that.
Yeah, well said. We don't have another PFL event for about a month, so we'll be taking a break.
I know. Who's next? We got PFL.
The Madrid card.
Madrid, and then we got Chicago, then we got Pittsburgh. Then we got
No,
Pittsburgh, Chicago, Boston.
Madrid, Pittsburgh, Chicago. Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. And then
are you coming back for the Chicago card? You're gonna be there?
I'll be here. I won't be moved yet. That'll be about a month before. So I'll be here. I thought I was gonna be gone, but we're rocking and rolling. We'll be at
we might be able to carpool to that because I'll be there. I'll be there too.
I'm ready.
Now let's do it. And I think that's a good place to end the PFL discussion there. Let's move back to what would be, in my humble opinion, the biggest fight that could possibly be made in mixed martial arts right now. There's this possibility. Islam Makhachev, Ilia Topuria, potentially at the White House. Islam Makhachev told a Serbian outlet the other day that if the UFC called him tomorrow and said, hey, do you want to fight Ilia? He said, quote unquote, that he'd be ready to fight him. So what do we think? The fight is still right there. They're both still at the peak of their championship runs, if you will, even though Islam just won the welterweight strap back in November. Is this the fight that needs to be made ASAP? Because I think this is a 1 yard line type fight where if you need the biggest fight in the sport to be made at one of the most well-known venues in the world, I don't see how this isn't a potential possibility. I know the rumor is no Russians, but would you be opposed to a fight like this? Because this is a fight that I would really like to see.
This fight ain't happening at the White House, brother. This fight is happening November 15th, 16th, 17th, whatever that Saturday is.
Madison Square
Garden. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
At 170 or maybe a 65 catch weight because Islam is not moving back down. So now it's a matter of, does Ilia vacate, move up? Does Ilia slime out Justin Gaethje in June and then go fight Islam, which I think is the move? Or, I don't know, do they not get the fight made? Like, I feel like what we loved about the UFC for so long is they got the big fights made. And that's what we hated about boxing. And it's kind of flipped. None of the big fights get made in MMA anymore. And fucking boxing.
By the way, it would be November. It would be November 14th. If they
November 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, that's, I think from June 14th to November 14th, 5 months. That's plenty of time.
Okay.
You go do that. Like, I don't know. It's a weird one, man. It is a weird situation. So if I were a betting man, I would say the fight doesn't get made.
Wait a minute. So with that said, we talked about this a week ago with the Ilia versus Justin Gaethje possibility. With all of this now in mind, and the wheels are sort of in motion, sort of now. We don't really know what's fully going on at the moment. As we get some breaking news here in the next 20 minutes, which I don't think we will. But with that being said, I mean, do we think, I mean, if this fight were to happen, you'd have to assume that Ilia has to beat Gaethje first, right?
Kinda. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like they have options. Like, if I'm a betting man,
Okay.
Ilia versus Islam doesn't get made ever. That's a fight that gets away.
Ever. Wait, can you explain why though? I don't. Out of all the fights that haven't been made in UFC history, this is one, besides Jones Aspinall, this is a fight that would just make me scratch my head and go, how in the world did they not do this when it was right there for the taking? And everybody and their mom wanted to see this fight. Dude, I've been thinking about this fight ever since Ilia knocked out Oliveira. I'm like, when in the world are we going to see this now? We have to see it. I mean, this is what are we, pound for pound, 1 versus 2. I don't understand what we're doing sitting here just twiddling our thumbs about it. You know what I mean?
I think it's a matter of who it is. Like, I think let's just go back in history from what I can remember off the top of my head. Brock versus DC. They bring Brock into the ring. Never happens.
Brock versus Fedor.
Same thing. They're getting Fedor. Never happened. They get Jones versus anybody. Who was the champ? Oh, Jones versus Ngannou. Never happened. Jones versus Aspinall. Never happened. Islam versus Volk only happens because it's Volk. Volk will fight anybody.
Right.
So I have a
GSP
feeling
versus Anderson Silva.
Never happened. How long was that rumored? Or what about Dom Cruz versus Jose Aldo? Or what about Jose Aldo
versus Chris Cyborg?
Another one. Or Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. Like, it was supposed to happen, but who knows now?
Yeah, we don't know. Although Dana is insistent that it will happen.
I would also insist it happen. Kayla broke her fucking neck. We don't know if she's going to be fine.
Right.
Like, we just don't know. So it's like, all of these fight, pound for pound, 1 and 2 female, fight it's going to happen, doesn't happen. Pound for pound, best heavyweights in the world, doesn't happen over and over and over and over again. The only time ever we've had a pound for pound 1 versus 2 is literally because the one champion ever who's like, oh yeah, mate, I'll fight him on 8 days' notice. Who gives a fuck? He just goes, fights him, beats fucking Islam's ass in Australia.
No. You're getting the he's confused. The 8 days notice was the rematch.
I know. But I'm saying he fights Islam in Australia, wins, loses, however you want to see it. And he's just like, oh, fuck it. I'll do it again on short notice in 8 days. I don't give a fuck. So he's the reason that fight happens. It's not Islam. Islam's not doing, I like Islam, but he's not doing anything that affects him. He is the one problem I have with the Dagestanis. And I get it.
I need your opinion then. I know it's not Islam, but why do you think then DDP versus Chimaev happened? Because that's sort of a similar scenario where it's champ versus.
Not the same at all.
Okay.
Khamzat's the number 1 contender, which he should have fought or was supposed to fight for the belt 3 years previously. Then he got fucking his hurt. And he got sick over and over and over and over again. Then he had to move up. Then he doesn't fight any middleweight. Like, that is just a whole different situation.
Fair enough.
And
I was trying to think of a modern
he's like not even top 6 pound for pound.
Right.
So I think that's a lot more similar than Arman versus Islam, a fight that needs to happen, didn't happen. Where it's the one thing I hate about the Dagestanis, and I'll even say this for like non-Dagestanis, but Russians elsewhere.
Okay.
They are very, very heavy in the point of everything has to be perfect. The camp has to be perfect. The weight cut has to be perfect. No injuries, no nothing. And they will pull out.
And their fans do the exact same thing. You know that.
Huh?
And the fans treat it the exact same way you just described. They have to be perfectionists themselves. If you say one remote negative thing about their guy, they go absolutely apeshit.
Agreed. And I like the Dagestanis. Like, in person, these Eastern European guys I meet, they're lovely. They're very nice. But it's like, unless it's not perfect, they're pulling out. Unless it's absolute best case scenario, they're pulling out. And that's why I'm thinking now, so Islam wasn't going to fight Ilia at 155 because it wasn't perfect for him. So now he's going to move up to 70, force Ilia to move up to 70 with him. So it's a 25-pound jump or a 20-pound jump, 25-pound jump. And Islam has this huge advantage now where he's this grappler who's 25 pounds up, 15 if you're going to say Ilia's a lightweight, whatever.
Yeah.
He's bigger, he's stronger. He's jacked as shit. He's going to have less weight to cut. When now, if they want to make this fight, let's say in November, it's like Ilia's going to have less than a year at 5'7" to get to 170 pounds, have a weight cut so he stays big. Like they're doing everything. And listen, this is no fault to them. This is a smart thing to do. But they're doing everything where everything is on their terms. And Ilia is such a superstar, I don't think he'll allow that. And I don't know if either side's going to budge. And that's why I think the fight doesn't happen.
Really? So let's use that logic of what you just said. What do we think their immediate futures are if they don't fight each other?
I think Islam's fighting Kamaru.
Okay. Which to me makes no sense.
So dumb. I hate Ian Gary. I fucking hate him. Ian Gary deserves the title shot. What are we doing?
100%. By the way,
and then at lightweight, give it to fucking if Ilia vacates and moves up, give it to Arman. Undisputed title shot, Gaethje versus Arman. If Ilia stays, have him slime out Gaethje, then it's Arman. Like they have options. Like there's about 5 contenders at welterweight that could fight for the belt. There's about 3 guys at lightweight who could fight for the belt.
See, something tells me I'm gonna counter you. Something tells me that the Arman, something tells me that Arman never gets a title shot.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think the UFC does not like him. But what I think what they do is Arman versus BSD in Miami. I think that's what's going to happen.
You think so? And what do you think when they say, "Oh, Arman knows what's really going on," but they don't elaborate? What do you think really happened there in your estimation?
From what I know,
okay.
It's like bro missed weight. He was gonna miss weight, and he was having cramps because he was cutting weight, and that's typical. Your back fucking hurts when you're cutting weight because your kidneys hurt and you're losing weight. Now Arman's being a fucking fat ass, eating 10 Dave hot chicken sandwiches 2 weeks before the fight. So like he misses weight the day before of the biggest title fight of the year,
which flips everybody out, right?
Not only like the biggest thing I think people forget is just like this is a business. And the biggest thing about business, the whole reason we go to college, the whole reason we have applications, the whole reason we go to school is to show companies that we are reliable. You show up somewhere every day and you do the work and you graduate. That's the whole point of going to fucking school and getting a degree. It shows companies that you can do it. He has shown his boss that he is unreliable, no matter how good he is or how talented he is. Which takes away your trust to ever book him in a main event. And then the second time you put him in a main event, after that happens, he breaks the motherfucker's nose at weigh-ins or at face-off. It's like this guy is a loose cannon. You don't know what he's going to do.
Right. And speaking of negotiations and all that stuff, this is a nice segue to that. Dana White told the courts last week that he has not been involved in negotiations in almost a decade. I'm going to be honest with you. I read most of the testimony based on the notes on Twitter that people were putting out about this. I didn't believe most of what he relayed. I don't know how much you read into this at all. I'm more so curious about your thoughts because I don't know any of them, and I'll give my thoughts when you're through.
I feel like it's kind of been known that he's just like the front guy. Like I knew. Maybe it's just from knowing fighters and such. It's like Dana's not reaching out to you unless you're Connor, unless you're, I was going to say Tom Aspinall, not even him. But like, unless you're one of these huge people, Dana's not involved. Hunter's
Sean O'Malley even admitted that he's never heard from him and he's been a big star for years.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's Sean, it's Mick, it's Hunter. Like those guys are the guys communicating with everybody, doing contracts, doing everything. Dana, in my eyes, is the front guy, the guy everybody can shit on, but he's also the guy who brings in, he did the, I don't even want to say that, but like he put together Conor Mayweather. He put together
Yeah.
He's done
put together Canelo Crawford.
He put together Canelo Crawford. I think it's more so he's doing this stuff for other companies and other sports, which is causing him, like he got his people around him at the UFC to be like, okay, yeah, we're cooling. but he's doing it for the other stuff now. Like, he went out and got J.O. Patia, in my eyes. He went out and got Callum Walsh. He went out and got whoever the fuck else is on these cards. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. He went out, pretty much what you're saying is he went out and signed Charles Martin, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's still doing the things he did for the UFC 10 years ago, but for now, Power Slap, for Zuffa Boxing, for the big events, for business, like that kind of thing. I think he's just out of the fighter stuff. And I think he probably has final say. Like, they are like, here's the card we made, and he goes, cool.
Yeah, which, by the way, I think he's saying cool a little bit too much because some of these cards are not it, bro.
I'm with you there.
So, speaking of a guy who he's in a bit of a rocky relationship with, apparently there was a video that was leaked out the other day that took the internet by storm, and his least favorite fighter on the planet saying he now has arthritis and he may be done fighting.
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, is it wrong for me to be like, I hope he gets arrested for doing something?
You hope he gets arrested again for doing something? What?
Like, he's such a bad person.
He really is.
He's such a
he really is.
It's like, oh, I don't even give a fuck if you have the arthritis in your hip. Why are you retire? Fucking retire. Just retire after the fight. You know you're gonna retire. Retire, man. Let the division move on. I hate this fucking guy. I hate him.
You're not the only one, man. A lot of people hate him. You're not the only one.
Could he kill me with his bare hands? Yeah, he could. I don't care. Like, I have a fucking blood feud with this guy.
I know you. I know you can't stand him. I really don't like him either, to be fair. But what I will say is, I mean, it wouldn't be John Jones without him 6 months ago saying, "Oh yeah, I'm back in training. I'm ready to come back." Then 6 months later, the whole narrative totally changes.
Hey, 6 months ago, he was also, I don't want to say 6 months ago, but like, same. Last year, he was sitting in his car drunk in Albuquerque with a gun, with the door open, going, or at a comedy show, being an absolute blacked out freak to the comedians, or in Russia 6 months ago, going to the Russian guy's hair. He's got a lot of fucking problems going on. Get the fuck out of the UFC. Retire.
Yeah, he really does. And then no disrespect to anyone over there, but dude, they bring him in essentially as like a prop for
craziness, literally. He just goes along with it. And the same thing too is like, I don't feel bad for him at all. I'll say that. But it's like, I have never seen a fighter who's never lost have his legacy change so drastically in
year after year. Dude, it changes.
It's like year. In 2020, when he said he was going to move to heavyweight, he was still like, okay, he's still seen in this awesome light, even though he's a shitbag.
It took him 3 years.
Took him 3 years when the people started hating him. Then he fucking did all this bullshit, waiting for fights, doing the politics. Oh, I'm the longest reigning heavyweight champion ever. You fucking didn't fight. You didn't fight anyone. You won the title against number 4 and never fought. What are we talking about right now? Like, it's driving me up a wall.
Not only that, he was granted a heavyweight title.
He fought a retired fighter to defend his belt. Stipe was retired for 4 years being a firefighter, and they're like, hey, buddy, we need you. Fucking fight an active heavyweight. What are we doing? Fucking fuck Cyril Gane. I would rather see John Jones fight fucking Sergey Spivak more than fucking Stipe. And Stipe was giving him the fucking work. Oh, my God. Like, I hate this fucking guy.
I know you do. But he fought a much older, much more broken down Stipe, which is why the fight was so bad.
Hold on now. You got me going. Let's look up John Jones' Tapology. Just to fucking shit on him a little bit more.
Okay.
Also, with all this legacy ruining such.
By the way, in my opinion, he did lose to Thiago Santos. I'm just putting it out there.
I mean, he lost to Dom Reyes, But this is exactly what I'm going to say.
Yeah,
right? Let's pull this bad boy
that's
up.
the fight. That's the fight I meant. Yeah.
We got
He
John
lost to Tom
Jones
Reyes
here,
for sure.
28-1.
He
And we
should be
keep
29-0, but it's all right.
Hey, he cheated. He gets a loss. But let's look here. Let's just go down the list. Retired fighter. Number 4. Mid.
No. At the time that he fought, he was really good, and then he fell off.
We're not looking at the time he fought him. We're looking at now we see his career as a whole.
Okay.
All right, let me say this. I am a Dom Reyes fan. I like Dom Reyes. But what we've learned about the undefeated Dom Reyes is that he's got a glass chin. John Jones can't fucking knock out. He couldn't knock out a teddy bear, bro. Like, he's got nothing. Cyril Gane, fix. Dom Reyes, at best, number 10 in the division.
Wait. I'm just curious. What's the reason for saying that the Gane fight was a fix? He destroyed him in like a minute.
I'm just messing around. I was cage side for that fight. And it was
I know.
Literally for 50 seconds, they danced around. John hit a little spin. And then Cyril kicks him in the cock, break. And then John comes back from the fight and just grabs him and like cranks his neck and it's over. Like, okay, cool. Dom Reyes, like the moment got to Cyril. Cyril gave up. Dom Reyes is at best a mid-ranked light heavyweight, beats John Jones. Thiago Santos, at best, is a mid-ranked light heavyweight, beats John Jones. Anthony Smith, at best, is dog shit. John Jones fucking should have lost this fight because he cheated again. Cheating. Alex Gustafsson, other than the John Jones fight, what did he do? Lose to minorities. Daniel Cormier, that's a good win. Hey, guess what, though? He popped for steroids. Ovince St. Preux, horrific. Terrible. I don't want to say terrible because he was good in his peak. But, like, again.
Well, by the way, you have to remember, too, and this is important context, he took the fight on 2 weeks' notice because Anthony Johnson got hurt.
I agree. But he's also, for context, was coming off of a steroid pop. I don't really give a fuck. Ovince St. Preux, at best, a mid-ranked light heavyweight. Actually, it shows us at the time. Cyril Gane was number 1 artificially. Dom Reyes was number 6 in the world and never was better than that because the next fight, Jan knocked him out, beats him. Thiago, number 4 in the world, beats him. Anthony Smith, number 3 in the world, should have beat him because John cheated. Gus, 4 in the world, don't want to be that guy. He's anti-Drew Dober. He can't beat anybody of color. Daniel Cormier, fantastic fighter, pop for steroids. Ovince St. Preux, mid, number 8 in the world. At best, at his peak. Daniel Cormier, good win, whatever. Glover Teixeira, good win, whatever. Gustafsson, good win. From here on out.
In one of the best fights in UFC history, by the way. It's a fight that people still talk about.
It's one of the best fights ever because it was kind of competitive. It's not that great of a fight.
I don't. Oh man, I know you probably didn't watch.
I think Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje is a better fight than that.
No way. No.
Wait. Rewatch it. Tell me which one's more exciting.
No way. Would I watch Jones Gustafsson one as it happened, and you cannot tell me that. There's no way.
Here's my problem with his reign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His first 6 title defenses and title wins are against middleweights.
No, dude. His first 5 or 6 title defenses are all against former champions. What are we talking about?
Former champions who should have been there's. If we look at my thing is if we look at the heavyweights, light heavyweights, and middleweights of today, and we look at who was champion at the time when John beat them, I'll give John the credit. He was ahead of his time. Today, Shogun's a middleweight. Rampage is a middleweight. Lyoto was a middleweight. Rashad's a middleweight. Vitor's a middleweight. Chael's a middleweight. They're all middleweights fighting a guy who's a foot taller than them. Now, is that anything that Jones discredit? No. But I think these are all grain of salt, he was fighting guys who today, my biggest gripe with Jon Jones is he did not fight one current top 5 ranked guy at any division. Like, if you threw any of these people in the current division besides DC and Glover, who's in the top 5?
I'd argue the version of Shogun he beat was probably a very good version at the time.
Okay. That's one.
I put Shogun in there. I'd probably put the version of Gustafsson who he beat the first time, and then let
me ask you this. I'll just go down. Would Shogun, you'd have him ranked?
I would, yeah.
And not only that, I agree with you. At middleweight, he was a middleweight. Quinton, I don't think he'd be ranked.
No, and he did not deserve the title shot anyway. He to begin with, they only gave it to him because he was still a huge name at the time.
Lyoto, after he got figured out and beat, he couldn't win.
I don't know.
Rashad,
so Lyoto probably not.
Rashad, I love Rashad. He ain't sniffing the top 15.
No way.
TRT Vitor, he might.
Yeah, that version of him was very dominant.
Agreed, but he was also on the sauce. Like, that's sauced up Vitor will give him a break. Chael, he's not even top 30.
No, I agree.
Like,
Chael I agree. Sonnen, they only gave him that fight because Sonnen was still running his mouth. And
Chael Sonnen is as good as Austin Vanderford.
That's a bold statement.
Gustafsson, as good as he was. Get out of here, ad. Get out of here, ad. As good as he was after that first Jon Jones fight,
he was never the same again.
Loss. Close fight, though. Loss. Finished by Anthony Smith. Lost to Verdum. Loses to Krylov. Like, he just was never the same.
Right.
Where Dom Reyes, never the best at light heavyweight. Thiago Santos, never the best at light heavyweight. Stipe, never the best at heavyweight. Cyril Gane, never the best at heavyweight. He just never fought the number one guy. And if you're supposed to be the greatest of all time, you have to be the number one guy.
What do you mean Stipe wasn't the best at heavyweight? I think a lot of people made the argument that Stipe was the best heavyweight ever because he had the most title defenses.
Well, this is Stipe 4 years on the couch, not training.
No, I get it, but I'm
2019 Stipe, 2019 Stipe versus 2019 Jon Jones, different story. But 44-year-old Stipe Miocic off the couch, he's not even a top 10 heavyweight right now.
Right, okay.
Like, I'm saying when he fought these people, he never fought the best guy. Besides in the beginning, when they were just so much smaller and one-dimensional than him, it didn't matter.
Right.
So, like, I think his whole resume essentially has an asterisk.
And technically, he didn't fight the best heavyweight in the world because the best
he never fought the best heavyweight. He never fought the best light heavyweight.
Right.
And if you're supposed to be the GOAT, you got to fight those guys. I don't know. So
therefore, does Khabib have a better argument of being the GOAT than he does?
I don't know. My GOATs are DJ and GSP. They're my two GOATs. I think they're the greatest of all time.
Okay.
I think they fought the best of the best at the time multiple times and beat them all.
I would argue you could say the same thing about Anderson Silva when Anderson Silva was the champion.
I think you have to say his differently, though. Like, I think, hello, filthy Uncle Ben. I think it's more so, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think his whole resume has an asterisk. Like Anderson Silva may have had the best prime of anybody, but with the way his career ended, I think it's hard to consider him the greatest.
Okay, very interesting. Because I think before the whole steroid thing and the Nick Diaz fight, a lot of people were still of the opinion that he was the best in the world. So
I don't know. I think it's tough. I think Anderson was just like a victim of his own drive, where like if he retires after the Weidman fight, the second one where he snaps his leg, it's like, okay, one of the greatest of all time ends due to injury. But then he comes back and goes like 1-7, loses to Derek Brunson. Like,
he lost to Derek Brunson, Michael Bisping, Daniel Cormier. Yeah,
Uriah Hall.
He had some stinkers. And the Uriah Hall was his final UFC fight. So
like it was a weird one.
All right, with a couple minutes to go, we have 2 more topics left. What do you want to briefly talk about in regards to this?
All right, BKFC. Listen, this was an awesome event. There were a couple fights I want to talk about. Starting off with the main event. Weird. I should have known. I love Big Ben Rothwell. Andrei Arlovski is now 3-0 against the Kenosha King. He is the new BKFC heavyweight champion via TKO.
To see Arlovski even compete at this level, for given his age and given how long he's been around combat sports, is unbelievable.
I know, and he pieced him up, cut him in the eye right here, had a massive cut here. Like, it was a good fight. What I really want to talk about, though, is the co-main event. If you have not seen Knucklemania, this is the fight of the night. You go in and you watch these walkouts. It's pound for pound, 1 versus 2. Mundell versus Hunt. Mundell's moving up 20 pounds on 2 weeks' notice to take this fight. Lorenzo Hunt's 43. He's an absolute Looney Tune. But let me tell you this. Lorenzo Hunt's walkout and intro genuinely might be top 5 in combat sports. I had goosebumps listening to it. And then he goes out there and fucking floors Dave Mundell. So, like, that was a crazy, crazy thing. Lorenzo Hunt, powerful, big champion, 12-2, tons of knockouts, walks out to power by Kanye West. No one man should have all this power. Kareem Hunt, NFL player, and Lorenzo Hunt's cousin walks out, juggernaut costume. And the announcer, I can't remember his name right now, but top notch. And we've got the pound for pound number 2 in the world, Lorenzo, the juggernaut. Like, absolutely fucking lights that shit up, gives me goosebumps, and then Lorenzo goes out there and floors Dave Mundell, the pound for pound number 1. Hunt's now the pound for pound number 1. Absolutely insane fight. Now, next up, really want to talk about it. Johnny Garbarino, Johnny Cannoli taking on Kane Trujillo. Dude, or maybe it's not Trujillo, but I think that might be like some TikToker, but Kane something. Knocked out Pat Sullivan silly.
Right.
A fix, bro. Like, that was one of the worst fights I've ever seen in my life. Kane, embarrassment, never have him fight in BKFC again. Because Johnny Garbarino, who's like, I think is mid, but the BKFC loves him.
They'll probably keep him just for the whole views thing.
Agree. Well, Johnny will stay around for sure. But
right,
this
right.
Kane guy, every single time that Johnny didn't even land, threw at him.
Right.
Knee. Through knee. Through knee. Like, the dude had to take 25 knees throughout this fight. And I was like, it made a 10-minute BKFC fight last like 25 minutes. It was so embarrassing. Like, I don't know. That was terrible. There was a couple other big ones. Like, Ben Bonner had a nice win. Lex Ludlow had a nice win. Felony. We got to talk about Felony Bennett. Freaking 0-26 in his last 26. Floors Pat Sullivan. What a guy.
That's unbelievable.
Walks
I didn't
out.
even know
gosh.
he still remotely had it. I mean,
Did you see the walkout?
Yeah, I did.
Ginger beard, Burger King hat on. This dude was a walking racist meme. And he floors a hometown guy. Felony Bennett's an absolute psycho, dude.
No kidding. Because we only have a few minutes left, let's transition to boxing now. Zuffa Boxing 03. It's the next leg of a crazy Zuffa Boxing schedule. By the way, just so you guys aren't confused, this is the last event before the UFC announces its giveaway winner, meaning the giveaway winner to win what is being dubbed as the most badass weekend in combat sports. You get tickets to Power Slap 18, Zuffa Boxing 04, and of course, UFC 326. Your boy over here entered into it. I still don't know if I'm going to win the damn thing or not, but if I do, you guys will know about it for sure. 100%. And I'm like legitimately nervous. I keep checking my email every single day to make sure that I don't miss anything. Anyway, I'm legitimately nervous to see if I win this giveaway. But let's take a look at this card. Jack's been nice enough to pull it up here. We've both been doing pretty well on Zuffa Boxing so far through the first couple of shows. So we're hoping to do a similar thing this week from the Meta Apex here. Let's talk about this card, and let's start with the main event, Jack. What do we think of it?
It's all right. It's fine. I think it'll be good.
Who do you got?
I am going with Efe Ajagba.
You are. See, I'm taking Charles Martin. Why do you like Ajagba in that one?
I don't know. Well, this is why. I didn't even know that. Bang. I think he's younger. He's bigger. He's Nigerian. Those are my people. I don't know. Efe Ajagba. Let's rip it.
Okay, see, I'm taking Charles Martin just due to the bigger fight experience factor, but I could be wrong. What do we think of the co-main event?
Co-main event, I'm going with Umar Zambekov. These OV names, I can't get rid of them, but I'm going to pick them every time.
Okay, I'm taking him as well. What do we think of the next fight?
Abel Meja taking on Jabirio P. Benito. I'm going to take Abel.
Okay, I'm going to take Abel as well.
Next up, we have Leo Ruiz taking on Casey James Streeter. Give me Leo Ruiz.
I'm taking Ruiz as well.
Next up, we've got Tony Woods taking on Mark Biuki. Give me Tony Woods. Super bad.
I'm taking Woods by decision. Well, how do you think he wins that fight?
Decision.
Okay.
Next up, we have Emiliano Alvarado taking on Devin Gant. I'm going with the 18-year-old prodigy, Emiliano Alvarado, by knockout.
I'm taking Gant by decision, but it'll be a close fight.
Next up, we have Oswaldo Molina taking on Joshua Clark. Give me Oswaldo Molina. A Mexican heavy card this week.
I got Molina by decision.
And finally, the opening fight of the night. We have Dario Kuchermenov taking on Jorge Lagunas.
Given that this is a last-minute replacement, I've got Kuchermenov. What about you?
I've got Kuchermenov as well.
How do we think this card's going to go overall from an entertainment standpoint? What do we think?
I think it's good. Listen, what I noticed the most about the new Apex shows and the new Zuffa shows that the expanded crowd makes a massive difference. You can really hear it.
Are you excited to go to one of these at some point? Because I'm really excited.
I hope so. We have to figure out a time to get out there, but I think going to one would be very cool.
Yeah, and hearing that they're going to take it around the country, I think is going to be awesome, dude. I think they could low-key sell out the Wintrust Arena here. What do you think?
Well, I think they could do that. I think they could sell out the Now Arena in Schaumburg. They have like 7,000
Would you
people.
go? Would you go to that? I'd go to that.
I'd go to that. AEW, the wrestling people came to the Now Arena, and I saw Day of, and I got tickets for like $15. So when stuff is that close, you might as well go.
Yeah, speaking of wrestling, I was hoping to get tickets to Elimination Chamber, but it doesn't seem like that's happening. Unfortunately, they're a little bit too steep for my price liking. If you
I know
will,
the TKO group is wringing these fans dry. God damn!
I know. Even though yours truly has been a little lucky, I couldn't get lucky with that one. Unfortunately, my guy, it was very, very disappointing. But you want to go over quick picks one last time before we get out of here?
Yeah, quick picks. I'll go right here. I've got Ajagba. He's got Martin. We both have Umar. We both have Abel. We both has Leonardo. We both have Antonio. We both had Oswald. You have Gant. We both have Kuchermenov.
That would be correct. So 8 fights on the night. Same start time as usual.
Differences.
Oh, what's up? Sorry.
I said 8 fights, 2 differences.
Yeah, that's not terrible. So it's pretty. It's almost as in sync as possible. Just to give you some further context here before we get out of here, Going into this week, we are both 12-4. I went 6-2 on Zuffa Boxing 02. You went 4-4. I think we're going to be pretty neck throughout the entire Zuffa Boxing season, but all of that remains to be seen. So that's going to do it for another edition of the MMA Outsiders. This has been episode 156 with myself, Zain, Bando, and Jack Gold. As we sign off and get out of here in the next 30 seconds to a minute or so, Jack, anything else you'd like to add just for the listeners and viewers as to what's going to be coming up, or is there anything exciting to come moving forward?
Hey, viewers of MMA Outsiders, tune in next Thursday, 2 p.m. Thank you to our commenters, Filthy Uncle Ben, and the best bare knuckle fighter in the world, Nathan Rivera. It was a good day.
It's a good day, a solid day overall. I 100% agree. We will catch you guys next week for episode 157. And don't go anywhere, because for the first time in the show's history, or at least since we've been doing the show, we will have an in-sync outro. So stay tuned for that. We hope you have a good rest of your Thursday. And with there being no fights, please enjoy the relaxing post-Super Bowl weekend. And we will talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. All right, here we go.